and welcome to the 2006 Softimage Futurespective event, celebrating 3D innovation since 1986.
Hello. Welcome to our 20th year little birthday party. My name, of course, is Mark Schottel. I'm the SI3D demo guy today. So what does that mean? Well, it means that I'm going to be showing you a little bit of old school stuff. With my hoodie on. So what does that mean? Well, so with another honest show of hands, how many of you have actually used SI3D? The original SI warriors. All right, that's very old school if you know what that is. I will model a spaceship. First, we'll select a few polygons. And of course, I'm in polygon mode. No other way would you know that other than by looking down there to see that I'm in polygon mode. Did I duplicate them? I'm not really sure. Yes, I did. Another slight change in normals, because there really is only two mouse positions, a cursor and a little hourglass thing. It's very strange. There's no construction history, there's nothing like that. There's just these little polygons. When you select them, and you hope that when you duplicate them, they duplicated. If they didn't, you were just kind of screwed. You can just keep doing this. Look at that. Ha ha ha, X-Wing fighter style. So, I got a little too far there. It's a little buzz that back. I said buzz because my phone is buzzing. You know what's neat is the best part about SI3D is the undo key is the U key, which is ray path polygon. So I find myself very often undoing what I was doing. So, another slight change in the normal directions to know that yes, I did actually duplicate those. Okay, here come guns. Guns were very popular back in the day, so we'll just keep making guns, big guns. Pull out those guns, duplicate, scale, duplicate, scale, duplicate. Make sure to grid line, duplicate, scale. By the way, in case you're wondering, I'm running on an Octane, a very fast Octane. Would you like to know a great stat about my Octane? You reach my pocket. This little phone has 40 more megahertz than my Octane. This little phone has 7 times the RAM of my Octane. Do it on the phone! You know, when I went to Montreal a couple weeks ago, they hooked me up with an O2, and that, my friend, was painful. I don't quite know how anyone did that. That one was like, well, my phone is 8 times faster and has like 60 times the RAM, but that was okay. Hey, we're still pulling some polys there. We got a little spaceship going, and I'm going to pull this little tail wrong direction, pull that out like so. This actually was Ben White's demo from, I believe it was SIGGRAPH Orlando. And if memory serves, he got like a standing ovation at the end of this thing. And I was showing this to Phil the other day, and good old Phil Adams out on the stage. You know what's really important, Mark? Look, I'm hitting the undo key instead of the ray path polygon again. He said, oh, look at that, I really screwed up. Oh, look, camera moves are part of your undo stack. Isn't that just great? Yay! Well, I'll just go like that and pretend that didn't happen. So, grab a few more, grab these. These are the air intake ducts, because as we know in space, there's a lot of air that needs to feed the engines. You really had to be named back then. It gets even better. Let's just delete, duplicate. We're almost done with the duplicating part of the demo. And, oh, didn't see I didn't duplicate. Because you just don't even know. You gotta click and hope, and just hope for the best. There we go. Now you may have noticed as I was duplicating, all of those polygons were kind of splitting, right? Like that little merge command that we all take for granted and extrude along axis. Well, the way you'd activate that, and this took me about half a day to remember, was under the duplicate setup. And look, there's actually an exit pop-up menu to get out of the pop-up. So go to duplicate setup, and we'll turn on merge adjacent polygons. What does that do? Well, now Hell yeah! In my day, we didn't have subdivision surfaces, we had effect rounding, and you liked it. You put it on a number of 5, and you hope that it rounded it, and you weren't really sure. Then you did it again, because the middle mouse button executed the last command, and we liked it. And if I rounded it one more time, I'd be screwed because you could only have, get this, 60,000 polygons in an SI 3D scene. Does anybody even realize that? You could have 60,000 polygons. That's it. Then you had nothing. Then you got an error message and a crash. And look at these stunning OpenGL performance. What is the show special? Only $64,000. Let's see, just to blow away any more nostalgia you might have. Make it reflective. Who the hell came up with that? How about we preview it? Does anybody have some gum? I need some. Oh, there you go. Yay! Okay. That might come later, my friend. So we wait. Because all I did was a preview, right? We didn't have a render region, and some of you are still complaining for a shader ball. Let's see. Of course, if I were to open a new scene, I couldn't. It would just merge it, because open new scene merge. You first had to go delete all, then you could go new scene. Fantastic. So let's see. How about I load? Let's load Panel Plopper. This is another one of my good friend Ben White's creations. And this was funny, because again, I started off on the O2 back in Montreal until we broke Will's for O2. Will, wherever you are, sorry, and then we broke another one, and then we wound up with the Octane. Well, the O2, I could actually scrub the timeline here, and stuff happened. And for the life of me, I'm like, geez, I'm on Octane. It's so much faster. Oh, but I don't have the texture RAM module. That's right, the $10,000 texture RAM option on the $50,000 workstation with its 250 megahertz processors. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of texture editing, shall we? So I'll select this guy. I'm actually going to go into wireframe because I can't get over the little spinny ball there. So we'll go into Texture 2D Global. Look at that confusing pile of poo. But at least you knew where every thing was. I'm going to attach a texture to this. Geez, it sure would be nice if I could see the icons for that. How do you do that? Oh, it's use icons. Wouldn't want that on someone on here. No, you'd want them 2 or 3 clicks away. So we'll just load this exciting texture map, and we'll go into the exciting paint module. So I'll go and enable hardware texturing, because that was a very special thing. And because I don't have guys, this is a 51 by 52 pixel texture map. I can't even spin it around. I'll go here to turn off our display optimizations. Anything to make these things run faster, right? Look at that. 13 polygons with a 52 pixel texture, and we are jamming with speed. Well, we would turn on the old show UV button, and you could pick a UV, and like, wow, look at that. You can see where each individual UV was laid out. How cool is that? But I can't move them. Oh, because I have to convert to UVs. What the hell is this? That's very foreboding. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, sounds good. Hey, look, I got little handles now. All right, let's just pull that. Hey, it moved. And look at this, if you turn on the excitement, all these optimization settings, interactive 3D, this will let you actually move it at about half a frame per second on that 52 by 52 pixel. Remember last year at SSI I had 500 million pixels of textured information? Here I've got 250. And this was always, you do this demo with like clients or whatever, and this was the tool that just sold them. You like select a few polys here and paste. Oh yeah, look at that. Hot diggity damn. I guess I can do the rest of them. Come over here. It is worth hooting and hollering. I hope you guys checked out our little museum of t-shirts and stuff around the corner when you walked in. There we go. So that was called Panel Plopper. We'll hit accept, and we'll hit OK again, and there we go. So now because I've got wireframe on, I can actually move this. See that there's IK bones driving this. You know, know, I got a neat nostalgia side. Again, you walk around the halls of Montreal and you see like patents on the wall for things like inverse kinematics, and it's just cool, you know, to know that that long ago we made these things, you know, and today we're still continuing to innovate and do some pretty crazy stuff, but like IK, right? I mean, how cool is that? Let's just see how cool that is. Let's go select this guy. And remember, back in XSI, well, not back in XSI, XSI is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever you get the modules. Here it's F1, F2, F3, F4, F5. And remember the revolt, when we moved them from the F keys to the 1 keys. My flaming emails to that UI guy. What the hell are you doing, man? It's F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, and you like it. To be a compositor, look at that. The soft 3D compositor. Who needs anything else, right? No, here we go. Check this out. We'll go into our motion module and we'll fire up channels. Channel runs, let's record a sequence. You ready? So right. Okay, everybody good? Yes, everybody got a beer? Let's back her up. Alright, let's play. Look at this. Left mouse button, middle mouse button, always giving you that feedback. Left mouse button, we got our countdown. 3, 2, you ready? So right. Okay. Now, where'd my feet go? Ah, shit, the constraints don't work. Where's my beer? Good grief. And look, it works. It records all that. Son of a... Update the selected. I don't know, man. Let's see. What else can I show you here? You know, let's see. Here's something that'll make you... We're just you know the shape manager we have now? Let me show you how we did shapes back in my day. This is Maria from Liberation. Liberation. Who needs Space Robot? Look at this. It was so ridiculous that you actually would put shapes on different objects and shrink wrap them, because if you had more than like 10 or 12 shapes on an object, it was just too much. So you'd put like the eyes are separate shapes and the face is separate shapes, and you weren't really sure, is it selected? Geez, I don't know. And on the O2 you didn't have hidden line, or you didn't have this little guy, so you couldn't even see your objects over your wireframes. And once again, you liked it, because that's all there was. Let's see, we'll go back to shade here, and I want to show you, let's just turn that off, and we'll go back to middle screen. Look at the dope sheet, exciting. Let's look at the F-curve editor. The F-curve editor that you all, well, not all of you, but some of you go, oh, geez, F-curve editor, I missed little F-curve editor. No, it's not, it's terrible. It's not that good. Like, where are my F-curves? Do I run a query for them? I'm not really sure. It's F-curve select. And you remember the custom effects? Any effect that had a little plus sign by it, you had to edit its F-curves through here, which was like, come on. So anyway, we'll go F-curve select object, shape weights. Look at that. You remember you put your shapes in negative time, because every frame you stored a shape on the frame, and if you try to store a new shape on that frame, it would say, no, you got a shape here already. So in order to get around that, you go into like negative time. So we'll go here into negative time, like negative 15. And look at all those exciting shapes. It's just ridiculous. So how did you do this? Well, you didn't have sliders. We had no sliders. So you had an F-curve, and it was like a slider with a big fall off, about 10 frames to the left and to the right. So lip syncing was a bitch. No. Okay. I guess that doesn't really work. Scheiße. So this was good old Maria, and you know, when I loaded this scene up, I was like, oh, that was the coolest model, and I found it in my whole collection of databases, and then I went, wow, it's like eight triangles. The shape list. All right, additive. Then one of these was just dumb, like one of them just didn't work. Like, why would you ever want that? You just wound up with huge goiters or something. That was the second time I said that today, I think. Anyway, let's go to the next thing. I'll show you guys. I'm right sure delete all. Delete all. I'm going to show you Fred. Fred was the code name. Fred was the code name for something big. You know, this was, we were all thinking about nostalgia and everything, and you remember the movie The Abyss and the Pseudopod? That was the first ever 3D character that was done by a commercial package. That was our baby, that little pseudopod where you put the finger in. Then movies like Jurassic Park came out, and yeah, man, you just went to the movie theaters, you know, the summer blockbuster, right? Well, who could forget Godzilla, you know, like, crazy number of fetch shots, just something completely unheard of for the day, right? I mean, this crazy monster that you can move around at 2 frames a second. I really am pulling the key. God, Olivier Ozu and Stephen Wild, the guys from Centropolis and Special Projects all working together to make this thing happen. You know, you can only have 60,000 polygons, right? So this had to be made with nerves. You couldn't use polygons, well, because the modeler couldn't model that, like, no way in hell. And you did it in nerves, and you had all these continuity problems, so we're just waiting for wireframe here. This will just take a second. There you go. And that's why I chose the Octane. The O2 was just unusable. You had all these patches that didn't join together right. So I remember when I first moved to LA, we had the Italians, we called them, and I barely knew them. They all kind of disappeared right around the time I got there. But they were working on this Band-Aid plugin that would allow all of this stuff to render without scenes, and that later became the Surface Continuity Manager inside a good old XSI, and we liked it, damn it. So you had all this control that you really couldn't have a rig in here. If you had a rig inside of a mesh this heavy, nothing would load, right? So the mesh was, or the rig was actually a standalone object. So you come over here, let's delete this guy, and let's load up the rig, friend the rig. Let's friend the skin again, damn it. Well, that actually went pretty quick. But now we gotta wait for shaded view. There we go. We can do this again. Where's our history? Yeah, we have no history, no construction history. No, nothing like that. I can bring little things out there. I'm glad I'm jarring your memory. That's good. Let's load up. I missed the thing. I just clicked. We want friend the rig. The one that was in capitals. Good, Mark. Way to go. So this was the rig, and this rig was impressive. Look at the schematic. You guys ever heard of the schematic? How could you live without the schematic? Impossible. Absolutely right. Impossible. Yeah, it still is. You know, the Explorer is pretty good, but the schematic, man. So let's check this out. You want to see a rig? There was so many neat things that this rig did that, God, I remember that nostalgia. And sticky. Let's see. So grab his foot. If you grab his foot, the toes actually curled when you lifted them. Look at that. That was pretty freaking bleeding edge back then. Like, whoa, man, you got automated toes. Oh. And if you zoom back a bit, he got this thing here. I don't know if this was a bad attempt at some dynamics, but here's Godzilla walking up some stairs and knocks over the pole, right? But it was cool because you could do things like I just lifted up his foot. Let's just frame up on that. And when you lifted up his foot, you know the toes curled, right? God, moving looks like moving Godzilla. But you come over here and you had this foot controller. This controlled the height of the floor, so you could actually like raise it and not get the toes to curl, which was neat. Then you could, they could traverse things. And I remember the center of gravity was always one that just floored me. I should open the expression editor to show you what a cluster that is. Look, he had like this weight shifting thing going on. Like, there was no rigs had this. Like, it was just, wow. Let me see, the last thing was his little hand here. Look at this. You could rotate this guy in Z. Just grab Z here. And you rotate that, and you got some action there. If you brand select it, you got all of them to work. Look at that. All right, so you know what? That is actually there's a few more little controls. His mouth was cool. Do a little frame up on this guy. So this would let you open his mouth. And the way they made it sniff and blink. You like move these things up and down and keyframe them, and I mean, there was no sliders, there was no, he's got acting skills. So we do a display, high, unhide all. Look at that. It's just insane, man. It was just, yeah, very cool. Alright, so you know I'm going to show you one more thing. I'm going to show it to you on the SGI. Mr. Octane, this may have been your last and final presentation. So I'm going to scoot over, I'm going to flip over to our current baby, and check him out there. Woo-hoo-hoo! A little bit faster, just a hair. Whoa, that's a big tail. I was interrupted, I'm sorry. Look at that. I did was copy over my old database. Just go and minimize this, or iconize this real quick, and minimize that guy. So we're going to open up the Fred database in the good old Softimage format. Open up our scenes directory. This is the exact same folder. If you look at the dates, some of the dates are, they may be recent. 1998. I actually just realized, I didn't even think of checking that. Watch this, we're going to take this scene from 1998, and I'm just going to drag and drop it. This is the rig. Let's see if the rig holds up in XSI on today's machine. Actually, I had to run, I ran soft 3D on, oh, there it goes. It's a little quicker. Let's just see what the schematic is there. Oh, yeah. See, now it's usable. I bet Olivier and crew would have killed for this type of interaction. So we have come a long way, guys. Like the nostalgia that we have for old soft is great and all, but man, XSI, you know, you leave it and you come back and it's like, good grief, how the hell did I ever do that? Half my life I spent using Softimage products. I can actually say that legitimately. It's pretty crazy, and it's fun, man. It was very, very fun to open up some of these old scenes. I have a ton of them. I just chose some of the ones I thought would be best. So anyway, that's my little spiel for tonight. I'm not going to sit here and play old school stuff. We have a lot of new exciting stuff to show you tonight. And so with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Chitty, who is the mysterious voice that we all heard. Going to get rid of this guy here, and I'm going to let you all enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you very much indeed, Mark. We did have a lot of fun, but it was fun playing around and going quickly on. Where is this? Where was that? I have no idea. Going to a developer who might have written it, and just like, where did Mark? Great, brilliant, running back, and then it doesn't work. Oh, it's so slow. Sorry.